Hello everyone, let's study spinal cord and reflexes. Where the spinal cord is one part of the central nervous system. As we can see in this diagram, so the yellow structure is the spinal cord, okay? So spinal cord is in the spinal vertebra, okay? The column of the column of vertebra. Spinal cord consists of four parts, okay? So these are the cervical. So we can separate the spinal cord to four parts. So these are the cervical spinal cord and the thoracic spinal cord, lumbar spinal cord, and sacral spinal cord. So here we can see the spinal cord is circle tube. Okay, however, it's not the same size. Because some region we can see this enlargement in some region. Okay, for example, in the cervical region, so this is cervical enlargement. We also find enlargement in the lumbar region. So this is lumbar enlargement. So actually, the spinal cord is relatively short. Okay, it's relatively short. It's not because spinal cord is only from the medulla to the lumbar level. Okay, so we can see from here to here, right? Actually, so I use a pen. So the spinal cord is from the medulla to the lumbar level. Okay, from lumbar to the sacral. Actually, so these are the bundles of the spinal nerve. Okay. So here we can see, so this is the real picture of the spinal cord. And so there are some the wrinkles on the surface of the spinal cord. So those wrinkles are called circles. Okay. We can also see. So this is the spinal nerve. Okay. We can see there are many spinal nerves. So those spinal nerves are paired. Okay. Also, the spinal cord is also covered by membrane. Okay, so we'll talk about this later. Now let's take this transverse view of the vertebra. Okay, so this is the vertebra. Okay, so this is vertebra. So the vertebra is the bone structure that covers the spinal cord. So the vertebra can protect the spinal cord. Where the spinal cord is also covered by several layers of membrane. Okay, so the outermost layer is epidural. So this So the outermost layer is epidural. Okay, so this is between the layers, so there's space cavity. Okay, for example, so the outermost cavity space is epidural space. Okay, epidural space. Epidural space actually is widely used in the surgery. Okay, because if the surgeon want to do the surgery, so first of all, so they need to do the anesthesia, right? Where the doctor can inject the medication to this area, to this space, to induce epidural, so the epidural anesthesia. Okay. Therefore, the advantage of this space, so the advantage of epidural anesthesia is that so this type of anesthesia is very safe, because once the medication is injected in this area, so So the medication can only paralyze the spinal nerve. Okay, so the medication will not impact the spinal cord. So it's very safe. It's very safe. Where below the epidural, so that's the subdural space. Okay, so there's subdural space, and then so below the so actually so the epidural space is the space between the vertebral and the dural matter. Okay, dural matter. So this epidural space, where between the epidural matter and the arachnoid membrane. So that is the subdural space. That is subdural space. Okay. So below the arachnoid membrane, so there is also a space. So that's a space between the arachnoid membrane and the PI matter. So that's called a subarachnoid space. Subarachnoid space is also very important because it's widely used in the clinic. So the physician can also induce subarachnoid anesthesia for the surgery. Also, so if the physician want to treat some type of diseases, so they can inject medications in this space. For example, for the treatment of the infections of the nervous system, so we can inject the antibiotics in the subarachnoid space because the antibiotics can circulate in this area to kill the microbes in the central nervous system. Another example is that we can treat the leukemia. Okay, leukemia. Because the leukemia can infect the central nervous system, so we can inject the chemotherapy medications in this area to treat the leukemia. So this significant meanings of this space. Briefly, so the spinal cord is covered by several layers, by 3 layers membrane. Totally, all these 3 membranes are called spinal meninges. Okay, meninges. So the spinal meninges consists of the dural matter. Dural matter is outermost layer, and then is the arachnoid membrane. Okay, arachnoid membrane. Arachnoid membrane is the medial layer. So the innermost layer is the PI matter. PI matter just covers the spinal cord. Where we can see, so this is the posterior side. So this is the anterior side. Okay, so this is anterior side. So this is a spinal cord. We can see the spinal cord send nervous branch. Okay, from the ventral part and dorsal part. Okay. So the ventral part, so the ventral branch and the dorsal branch, they are united together to form the spinal nerve. So this is spinal nerve. In the spinal nerve, so there are also very important structure. So we can see this enlargement of the spinal nerve. So this is called ganglion. Okay, this is called ganglion. Actually, so there are So there are ganglia in the ventral side and in both ventral side and dorsal side. Okay, so those ganglions are the side for the neurons. Okay, for the neurons. So now let's zoom in the spinal cord. Okay, so we can see so the spinal cord is covered by three layers. Okay, so the outermost layer is the dura mater. Okay, and then so we have the arachnoid matter. So the innermost is the PI matter. Okay, we can see so this is the ventral view. Okay, this is ventral side. So the spinal cord stands both ventral and dorsal branch. Okay, so these two branches unite together to form the spinal nerve. Okay, spinal nerve. So the dorsal branch is called the dorsal root. Okay, ventral branch is called the ventral root. So so the spinal cord actually, so we have the ventral side and the dorsal side. We can see in the middle of the spinal cord, so we have two fascicles. Okay, so we have two circles. Okay, two circles. Where the ventral circus is much wider. Okay, however the dorsal circus is much narrow. Okay, so we can call this. So we can distinguish the ventral part based on the size of the circus. So the dorsal part, so the circus is called the posterior medial circus. Okay. So the ventral part is anterior medial fissure. Okay, medial fissure. So in the inside of the spinal cord, we can see we have this darker color structure. This is called green matter. Okay, this is called green matter. Actually, green matter consists of many neurons. Okay, many neurons. So we have two green matter. Okay, two green matter. Between the two green matter, we have the green commissure. Green commissures are the green commissure are the fibers, neurofibers that link the two green matter. So it can allow these two green matters to communicate with each other. Okay. So the matters, we can see the matters shape is irregular. Okay, so we have the anterior, we have the ventral horn. We also call the anterior horn. Okay, so this is ventral part, also called the anterior part. So we have the anterior horn. Okay, here is the posterior part. We call this posterior horn of the dorsal horn. Okay. So this part is called lateral horn. Okay, so the anterior horn consists of the somatic motor neuron. Okay, and posterior horn consists of the somatic sensory neuron. Okay, so they have different function. Where the posterior horn stands the dorsal root. Okay, actually the dorsal root. So this is dorsal root. Dorsal root is the pure sensory neural fibers. Okay. Anterior horn stands the anterior ventral root. Okay, ventral root. Ventral root is the pure motor neural fibers. So these two roots will unite together to form the spinal nerve. Okay. We also can see this enlargement structure. So this is ganglion. Okay, ganglion. So the green matter actually is covered by the light color structure. So so this structure is called a white column or white matter. Okay, white column. So we have based on the locations, we can divide the white column as three parts. So these are the posterior funiculus. Okay, so this is posterior funiculus. So this is anterior funiculus. So this is the lateral funiculus. So the white columns actually are the bundles of the nerve fibers. Okay, all the nerve fibers that link the spinal nerve to the different neural centers. Okay, nervous centers. So in this slides show the different neurons in the gray matter. Okay, so the neurons, we can divide the neurons to four categories based on different functions. Okay, so those are the somatic sensory neurons. Okay, so we can simplify as SS. Okay, or the somatic motor motor neurons. Okay, of the visceral motor neurons, so the visceral sensory neurons. Okay, you can see this is the visceral sensory neurons. So the visceral sensory neurons is green, is marked as green. Okay, since this is the sensory neurons, so the sensory neurons is in the posterior part of the horn. Okay. In the posterior part, we also have another sensory neurons, so that's the somatic sensory neurons. Okay, so this is marked as blue. Okay, here, what is the difference between these two sensory neurons? So the somatic sensory neurons actually, so these neurons only detect the so the surface. So the surface, so the surface of the limbs sensation, such as temperature, touch, pain, vibration. Okay, so all these are the somatic sensory. So all these are the somatic sensation. Okay. So this sensation will be detected by the somatic sensory neurons. Whereas the visceral sensory neurons will detect the sensation in our visceral organs, such as all the organs in our thoracic cage. Okay, all the organs in our abdominal cavities, such as the stomach, intestine, lungs, heart. Okay. For example, if a patient has ulcers in his stomach, so he will feel huge stomach pain, right? There, this stomach pain, so this stomach pain will be detected by the visceral sensory neurons. Okay, so that's the difference. Here we can see, so this is ganglion. Okay, ganglion has the neurons. Okay, has the neurons. Actually, so this is. Do you guys still remember what is this category of the neuron? So actually, so this is unipolar neuron, right? This is because there is only one process from the neuron cell body, right? Well, now let's talk about the motor neuron. We also have two motor neurons. So these are the somatic motor neuron and the visceral motor neuron. Where somatic motor neuron will send the axons to innervate the target organs. So we can see somatic neuron is marked red here. Okay, somatic motor neuron actually has neurons that will send the axons to innervate all the muscles, all the skeletal muscles, glands in our body. Okay, so that is a voluntary nervous system because it regulates the voluntary movement, okay, such as our skeletal muscle, our glands, okay, our glands, sweat glands. However, the visceral motor neuron, so visceral motor neuron sends the axons to innervate all of our inner organs movement, such as our heart, okay, our heart, so all the organs in our thoracic cage and abdominal cavity, okay, the heart, the lungs, the small cells in our stomachs, in our intestines, okay. So the visceral motor neuron regulate all those small cells, cardiac muscles movement. So that is involuntary regulation. So here we can see the dorsal root. Dorsal root is dorsal horn. Dorsal horn of the green matter is sensory. It's the sensory and detection. So this is the sensory root and ganglion. Okay. So actually, ganglion is not the part of the it's not part of the dorsal horn because ganglion actually is the neurons in the peripheral central nervous system. Because the ventral horn is contains the motor neuron, it sends the motor root. Okay, so the dorsal root and the ventral root will unite together to form the spinal nerve. Okay, so we have four categories of the neurons. So those are the somatic sensory, visceral sensory, somatic motor, and visceral motor. Okay. So now let's talk about the different region of the spinal cord. Okay, different region of the spinal cord. So this is very important. So now let's begin from the dorsal part. Okay, dorsal part. So we can see the dorsal part. So this part. Okay, this part is called dorsal white column. Okay, dorsal white column. Dorsal white column contains two parts. Okay, so that is fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cutaneous. Okay, this is cutaneous. This is gracilis. So this is ascending track. Okay, this is ascending track. That means actually, so this is white matter. Okay, white column. So white column actually are the boundaries of the neural fibers. So these neural fibers come from the different segment of spinal cord and travel upward to the brain. Okay, so this is called ascending track. Okay, so what is the function for these two columns? Okay, here's the fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cutaneous. So they detect the fan touch, okay, fan touch, and consciousness and conscious proprioception, okay. So this is their function. So they detect fan touch and conscious proprioception, okay. And then so we have the posterior. So the posterior spinocerebellar tract, okay, posterior spinocerebellar tract, and the anterior spinocerebellar tract, okay, this one. So these are also ascending tract, okay. We also have so what are the function of these two tracks? Where the function of these two tracks is to detect unconscious proprioception. Okay, so these two are detect unconscious proprioception. Okay. So this is anterior and posterior spinocerebellar tract. Okay. Now let's talk about this one. This one is lateral spinothalamic tract. This one. So this one is the anterior spinothalamic tract. Okay. So what are the functions for these two tracts? There's the lateral spinothalamic tract is to detect the pain and temperature. Okay, pain and temperature. Pain and temperature. Where the anterior spinothalamic tract is to detect the crude touch. Okay, crude touch. Crude touch. Where the fan touch, do you guys still remember? Fan touch is detected by the fasciculus gracilis, right? So this is the ascending tract. Okay. Now let's talk about the descending tract. Where the descending tract, so descending tract are the nervous fibers that come from the brain or brainstem or the medulla, okay, and then they travel down through the spinal cord and then leave the spinal cord through the spinal nerve to innervate the target organs, okay. So these are the descending tract. So that's why we call this descending, okay. So the descending. So now let's talk about this one. So this is lateral cortical spinal tract. Okay, lateral cortical spinal tract. So this is one. So this one is called a lateral. So now, so the descending tract actually is the descending tract actually. So those are the motor. So those are the motor nerve fibers. Okay, because they regulate the movement. Okay, so the descending tract is divided by two parts. Okay, one part is called the pyramidal tract. Okay, another part is called extra pyramidal tract. Okay, so the pyramidal tract consists of lateral and anterior cortical spinal tract. Okay, so we can see the lateral. So this is the lateral cortical spinal tract. Another is anterior cortical spinal tract. Okay, is this one. So that means this one and this one made of the pyramidal tract. Okay, pyramidal tract function is to regulate the voluntary movement. Okay, voluntary movement such as the skeletal muscle movement. Okay, so these two is the pyramidal tract. Okay, and then we have the actual pyramidal tract. Okay, so the function of actual pyramidal tract is to regulate involuntary movement. Okay, such as the movement of the small cells and the cardiac muscles, right? So that means actual pyramids regulate all the movements of the heart and the visceral organs such as stomach, intestine, right? So actual pyramidal tract consists of 4 tracts. So those are the rhomboid spinal tract, okay, rhomboid spinal tract. Maybe I use the rectangle to for the actual pyramidal. Okay, so second is tactile spinal tract. Okay, tactile spinal tract. The third is vestibular spinal tract. Vestibular spinal tract. So the third is the vestibular spinal tract. The fourth is radicular spinal tract. Radicular spinal tract. Okay, radicular spinal tract. Radicular spinal tract we also have medial and lateral. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we can see the so this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So they make the actual pyramidal tract. Okay. So this is different regions in the spinal cord. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. I'm sure you will get this in your final exam. Okay, please spend more time to memorize all these different regions. Okay. Here we can see this is anterior white commissure. Okay, so this is nervous fibers that these two part to these two white columns to communicate with each other. Okay, so I know this is very confusing and difficult to memorize. However, please spend more time on that. Okay. So now let's talk about the. So in this slides, we can see the summarize the contents that we just discussed. Okay. So actually, the fibers traverse in the white columns in 3 directions: ascending, descending. Okay, ascending, descending, and transversely. Okay, transversely. So that's for the. So that's for, do you guys still remember? So that's for the anterior commissure. Okay, anterior commissure. So we can, so it white matter is divided to three parts. Okay, to 3 columns as posterior, anterior, and lateral. Okay. So the descending motor actually send the efferent nerve fibers and allows the nervous impulse travel from brain to the spinal cord and then to the target organs. Okay. So the motor pathway involves 2 neurons. Okay, 2 neurons. So these are the upper neurons and the lower neurons. Okay, upper neurons that actually means the neurons in the central nervous system. Okay, lower neurons that means so that's neurons in the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so we can talk about this later. So white matter ascending actually carries the sensory nerve fibers from the peripheral nervous system to the central nervous system. Okay, and so it exhibits the spatial relationship. Okay, so actually, because we have right part and the left part. Okay, that means so the ascending columns actually so they appeared. Okay, so we have left side and right side. Okay. So we have the interneurons in the dorsal root. Okay, for all the sensory nerve sensory spinal nerves come into the spinal cord. Okay. Now let's talk about the spinal nerve. Okay, spinal nerve. The spinal nerve since we can divide the spinal cord to 4 regions. Okay, to 4 regions. Actually, so we have so we can divide the spinal nerves to 4 regions. However, so there is one special spinal nerve. So actually, we have 5 categories of spinal nerves. Okay, so the first 4 categories are same as the spinal cord. Okay, so these are the cervical nerves and the thoracic nerves, lumbar nerves, sacral nerves. Okay, so they appeared. Okay, because we have right side and left side for these nerves. Okay, however, we have one special nerve. Okay, so this one is not paired. Okay, so this one is unique and solo. Okay, so this is coccygeal nerve. Okay, so this is the last one. So that means we have coccygeal nerve is unique. However, it's also paired. Okay, it's also paired. However, these 2 paired. So this pair of nerves actually united together. Okay, so they are not separated to the left and right. Okay, so totally, so we have 31 pairs of spinal nerve. Okay, 31 spinal nerve. So we can see, so these, for example, cervical nerve, we have, so that's from C1 to C8, so that means we have 8 pair of cervical nerve, okay. Thoracic nerve is from T1 to T12, that means we have 12 pairs of thoracic nerve. Lumbar is from L1 to L5, that means we have 5 lumbar nerves. Sacral nerve is from S1 to S5, that means we have 5 sacral nerves. So coccygeal is only 1. Okay, so this totally is 31. Okay, 31. Since this pairs, so times 2, so totally we have 62 spinal nerve. Okay, 62 spinal nerve. So the spinal nerve connected to spinal cord through the medial root. Okay, medial root actually is made from the dorsal root and the ventral root, right? So the ventral root from anterior horn and dorsal root from the posterior horn. ventral root actually is pure motor neuron fibers. Actually, dorsal root is pure sensory neuron fibers. So here we can see this diagram, okay? So this is the ventral root, okay? This is the ventral root because this is the ventral side, okay? This is ventral root, this is the dorsal root, okay? Dorsal root. So these two roots actually unite together to form the spinal nerve, okay? Spinal nerve. Spinal nerve. So this is ganglions, okay? Actually, the spinal nerve also send different branches, okay? So based on direction, so we can define this as dorsal ramus, okay? Dorsal ramus, so the ventral ramus, okay? So the ramus can also link rami can be linked together by the nerve fibers to allow them to communicate with each other, such as rami communicate. Okay, rami communicates. Okay. So so in each side of the spinal cord, we also have the vertical nervous structure. So this is called sympathetic trunk, the sympathetic ganglion, sympathetic chain of the ganglions. Okay. So this is spinal cord. So now let's talk about the cervical complexes. Okay, cervical complex actually is made from the spinal nerve of C1 to C4. Okay, C1 to C4. So most of them actually innervated innervated the skin of the neck, ear, back of head, shoulders. So they detect the sensations such as temperature, touch, pain. Detect these sensations. Okay. So the most important part of the cervical plexus is the phrenic nerve. Okay, phrenic nerve. Phrenic is very huge nerve. Okay, so why this one is so important? Because this is the major motor nerves. Okay, so this is actually so this nerve contains both motor and sensory nerve. Okay, so this nerve innervates the diaphragm. Okay, so diaphragm is very important because as what we know, so our respiration consists of two parts. Okay, one is the thoracic respiration, another is abdominal respiration. Okay, so the thoracic respiration is induced by the muscles on the thoracic cage. Okay, however, the abdominal respiration is induced by the diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm. So that means diaphragm is involved in our respiration. So if this nerve is damaged, so that means we will lose our abdominal respiration. Okay, so the diaphragm will be paralyzed. Okay, so the diaphragm will not being revolved in our respiration. That means we will have weak respiration. Okay, so that could will cause the respiration so that will cause respiration failure. Okay, so that's important meaning of the phrenic nerve. Okay, so now let's talk about the cervical plexus. I know this is very complicated and difficult. Okay, so So however, so this one is very important. Okay, so we have to go through this very carefully, and yeah, so this is very important. I guarantee you will get this in your final exam. Okay, so please spend more time to memorize it. So we can see this slides. Wow, so this is very complicated. So how do I memorize this? So first of all, so we can see, so we have so we have five spinal nerve, cervical spinal nerve. Okay, so first of all, so let us take a look at from this side. We have five spinal nerves. Okay, so the first is the C1, C2, C3, C5. Okay. So first, let's draw a line from C1. Okay, C1. C1, we can see if we draw through here, we have another structure come close to the C1. Okay, so this is called hypoglossal nerve. So this is 12th cranial nerve. Okay, 12th cranial nerve. So the hypoglossal cranial nerve innervate the muscles innervate the muscles of tongues. Okay, so it come close with the C1. Okay, so the C1 actually will. So the C1 actually, we can see the C1 will send a branch to link with the C2. Okay, link with the C2, and the C2 will also send the fibers link with the C3. Okay, link with the C3, and then so the C1 will send two branches. Okay, two branches. We are sent two branches. So these so we are sent two branches. So these two branches are called genial hyoid nerve and thyroid hyoid nerve. Okay, here, so this slide doesn't show these two nerves. So those two nerves actually innervate so the muscles in our neck. Okay, and so those muscles attach to the hyoid bone to regulate, to elevate and protract of the hyoid bone. Okay. So the C1, so we can see, and then C1 send the huge branches link with the link here with the C2. Okay, so from here, so we can see it also send three. It can also send it also sends several nervous branches. So there are three nervous branches that are very important. So those are the omohyoid nerve, and sternohyoid nerve, and sternothyroid nerve. Okay, so those nerves are also regulated thyroid bones and hyoid bones in our neck. Okay. So this is C1. Okay, this is C1, and then so we have the. So let's look at the C3. Okay, C3. We can see the C3 send the branches. Okay, C3 send the branches link with the C4. Okay, link with the C4, and the link with the C4. Okay, so actually, so this is link with C3 send the branch with C4, and then so these branches will link with the C5. Okay, link with the C5. So this is these three branches make the most important nerve. We can mention, so this is the phrenic nerve. Okay, phrenic nerve to regulate the diaphragm. Okay. So the C5 also sends the fibers to regulate the rhombones and superior rectus and anteriors. Okay, so we don't talk about. So the C3 we can see C3 sends the so actually, all this that I have mentioned as as so as nerves that regulate the muscles in our neck. Okay, in our neck, all the diaphragm. Okay, so let's take a look at and C2 as beer. Okay, C2 as beer. So the C2. Actually, so we can separate this plexus as the anterior part and the posterior part. Okay, anterior part and the posterior part. So I have mentioned so the contents that I have mentioned actually are the posterior part. So, okay, so the phrenic nerve. So this is the posterior part. So now let's focus on the anterior part. Okay, anterior part. Now let's continue from the C2. Okay, C2 we can see it can send branches at the anterior side. So this is called lesser occipital nerve. Okay, lesser occipital nerve. Where the C3 will send two parts. Okay, C3 will send two branches. So first one is the greater auricular nerve. Okay, the second is transverse cutaneous nerve. Okay, so this is also from the C3. Okay, this is also from C3. So C3 send two nerves. Okay, two nerves. So all these two nerves are the anterior side. Okay, greater auricular and transverse cutaneous. Okay, cutaneous. So now let's take a look at the C4. Okay, C4. We can see the C4 send the fibers. Okay, send the fibers. Okay, send the fibers. So the fibers actually. So the fibers were divided to three branches. So this is called supraclavicular nerves. Okay, so here we have another cranial nerve. So this is answering nerve. Okay, answering nerve. So the answering nerve is nice. Okay, and answering nerve actually regulates the trapezius muscle. Okay, trapezius muscle to regulate the movement of our shoulders. Okay. So actually, so this nerve also regulate the muscles to regulate the shoulders. Okay, so this is the cervical plexus. Okay, cervical plexus. So the next, let's talk about the bronchial plexus. Okay, the bronchial plexus actually are formed with the nerves from cervical spinal nerve 5 to the T1. Okay, to the thoracic nerve 1. Okay. So bronchial plexus innervate the upper limbs. Okay, upper limbs. So in these nerves, so there are two very important. So these are the ulnar and radial nerves. So we have known these nerves because when we study the skeleton of our bodies, so we have the ulnar and the radius, right? So these two bones actually. So we also have two important nerves. So those nerves are named as ulnar and radial nerve. Okay. So the ulnar nerves innervated the plexal carpi, honoris, and part of the flexor digitorum profundus. Okay, profundus. So the radial nerve innervate all the extensor muscles. So now let's take a look at the branchial plexus. So this is also very important. So this is very complicated now. So let's look at it from this part. Look at this from C4 to T1. Okay, we can see these are the spinal nerve. Okay, spinal nerves and spinal nerve. We can see the C1. So we can see the C4 send one branches joined with the C5. Actually, so the branchial plexus are major formed from C5 to T1. Okay, so we can see this. So let's take a look at it from C5. C5 send the nerve. Okay, send the nerve. Okay, and then C6 also send nerve to unite with the C5. Okay, C7 also send one. Okay, and C8 send one. Okay, C8 send one. C8 send one, T1 send one, so C8 and T1 united together. So once C5, C6 united together, so this is called anterior division. Okay, so this is called anterior division. Okay. So this is called anterior division. Okay, this is called anterior division. Whereas the C7 is called posterior division. Posterior division. Okay. Here we have the posterior division. So this for the C7. Okay. C8 and T1. When these two united together, so this is called. So this is also called anterior division. Okay, this is also called anterior division because these two are in the anterior part. Okay, these two are, and then so we can see. So we can see C5, C6, C7, C8. So they also send C5, C6, C7. So they also send branches to unite together to form the long thoracic nerve. So this long thoracic nerve. So this is in the posterior side. Okay. And then so let us continue. Okay, continue. So we can see the anterior division send and branches. So this is called the suprascapular nerve. Suprascapular. So this nerve is from C5, C6. Okay, 5, 6, right? Because it's from this anterior division. Okay, so the anterior division continue go down. Okay, so this is called so the anterior division will unite with one bridge from the posterior division. Okay, posterior division here we can see. So these two unite together. So this is called a lateral chord. Okay, lateral chord. Okay, so lateral chord is 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is lateral chord. Okay, lateral chord can continue travel down, okay, travel down, and then divided two branches, okay. One branch is so the one branch is called musculocutaneous nerve, okay. Another branches will link with another cord. This is called media cord, okay, media cord. So this is media cord. So where does the media cord come from? So we can see the media cord is from the anterior division of the C8 and T1, okay, C8 and T1. So once the medial cord and the lateral cord unite together, so they form the medial nerve, okay, medial nerve, okay, medial nerve. So now, let's take a look at the medial cord. So this is medial cord, okay. Medial cord send branch to unite with the lateral cord. Also send another branches, okay. Send another branches. So these branches is very important. So that is ulnar nerve. This is ulnar nerve, okay. Ulnar nerve. Now let's take a look at the posterior division, okay, posterior division. Again, posterior division is from C7, right? C7. So this is C7, and then C7, and then posterior division they unite with the branches from anterior division to form the posterior cord, okay, posterior cord, right? Posterior cord. So here, because that's a posterior division unite with the branches from the anterior divisions, then to form the posterior cord. Posterior cord, and then can send three nerve branches, okay. So that is upper subscapular nerve, okay, this one, and thoracic dorsal nerve, and lower subscapular nerve, okay. So this is these three nerves, okay. And then so the posterior cord can continue travel down, and then to divide it to two nerves, okay. So one nerve is very important. It's a very important one, right? We just talked about it. So that's radial nerves. So the radial nerve again is from the posterior cord. So the radial nerve is from posterior cord, okay. So the ulnar nerve is from the medial cord, okay, medial cord, okay. So the posterior cord also, because the posterior cord divided two nerves, two branches, okay. One branch is the radial nerve. Another branch is also very important, is the auxiliary nerve, okay. Okay, so this is bronchial plexus, okay, bronchial plexus. So here we can see, so this is radial nerve and ulnar nerve, okay. So they actually they travel through our upper limbs to regulate our muscles in our palms and the muscles in the forearms, okay. Here we have the musculocutaneous nerve. So these nerves actually detect the sensation of our forearms, okay. So this is how you guys memorize the bronchial plexus, okay. Now let's take a look at the lumbar plexus. So lumbar plexus are made from the nerves are made from the nerve of L1 to L4. Okay, so the lumbar plexus innervates the thumb, abdominal wall, and psoas muscles. Okay, so the major nerves are the femoral and obturator nerve. Okay, now let's take a look at it. So actually, so this one is simpler than the cervical plexus uh, and bronchial plexus. Okay. So now let's take a look at it. Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay. So first of all, so as what I have mentioned, so we take a look at it from the all the spinal nerve. Okay, so we have the L1 to L5, right? L1 to 5. We can see L1 stands the spinal nerve. Okay, so we can see their branch. So this branch is from the T12. Okay, T12. However, we can ignore this one. Okay, T12 also. Is also involved in the lumbar plexus. However, we can ignore this one. So we just memorize that it's from L1 to L5. Okay, so for this we can we have so we can memorize as 2 for 1. Okay, 2 for 1, 2 for 2, and 2 for 3. Okay, 2 for 3. So what does it mean? 2 for 1 we can see here. Okay, so the L1 stands 2 branches. Okay, 2 branches. Okay, so the 2 branches will be the EDU hypogastric nerve and EDU inguinal nerve. Okay, so we have 2 nerves. Okay, 2 nerves. Actually, these 2 nerves come from just one spinal nerve, just from L1. So this is 2 for 1. Okay. L1 also send branches linked with the branches from L2 to form a nerve. So this is called the genital femoral nerve. Okay, genital femoral nerve. And L2 also send a nerve. So this is this one. Send a nerve to link with the branches from the L3. Okay, to form another nerve. So this is called lateral femoral cutaneous. Okay, lateral cutaneous. So this is 2 nerves. Okay, 2 nerves. So actually, we can see these 2 nerves are from 2 spinal nerves. So this is from L2 and L3. Okay, so this is called 2 for 2. Okay, 2 for 2. Then, so we have the L3. Okay, L3. L3 send branches to link with the L4. Okay, L4 to form the L4 also L2 send branches unite with this branch to form the femoral nerve. So this femoral nerve are made with 3, right? 3 spinal nerve branches. So that's from 2, 3, 4. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Okay, L2, L3, L4 for the femoral. Also, we have the obturator nerve. Obturator nerve is this one. Okay, obturator nerve is made from the branches from L4, L3, L2 as well, right? So this means this is also, so this one is also made from 3 lumbar branches. Okay, so we can see this is 2, right? This is 2. So this is 2 to 3. Okay, 2 to 3. So that's a trick for you memorize the lumbar plexus. Okay, lumbar plexus. So this is a sample, right? So I hope that will help you guys memorize the lumbar plexus. So this one is also very, very important. Okay. So please use this trick that I have mentioned to memorize. Okay. Now let's talk about the sacral plexus. Sacral plexus arises from the L4 to S4. Okay. So this plexus sends nerves to innervate the butt, okay, and the lower limb, pelvic structures, and perineum, okay. So the most important is the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve is a huge nerve, okay. It's the longest and the thickest nerve of our body, so it's very important. So the sciatic nerve actually is made of two nerves, so the tibia, the common fibula. Okay. So now let's take a look at this slice. Okay. So this is also very important. Okay. So probably you will get this in your final exam. Okay. So please memorize this. Okay. So how can we memorize this? It's so complicated. So first, yes, we have to start from the beginning side, from here, right? So all these are the spinal nerves, so that just from the spinal cord, okay? So first, since we know, so that's from L4 to S4, right? So we can see L4 send branches, the L5 send branches, okay? So actually, so the so we can just since we know sciatic nerve is very important. Okay, very important. So we can focus on the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve, we can see the sciatic nerve are made from the L4 to the S3. Okay, L4, right? Sciatic and S3. Okay, so we can see. So this plexus is also have the posterior side and anterior side. Okay, so let's take a look at the sciatic nerve. Sciatic nerve actually is in the posterior side. Okay, posterior side. So we can see the L4, L5. So this is sciatic. Okay, so you got this one. Okay. We also have another trunk. Okay, another trunk. So this is called the common fibular nerve. Okay, common fibular nerve and the tibia nerve. Okay, so actually, so the tibia nerve is the posterior side. Okay, common fibula is one part of sciatic nerve. Okay, so this one is anterior side. Anterior side. So the So the common fibula we can see come from S2 to L4 to S2. Okay, L4 to S2, L4 S2. So we will discuss about this later. Okay, common fibula, tibia. Okay, so we can cover these two since we covered the sciatic. So we can also cover these two because these two make the sciatic nerve. Okay. And then, so we can see the L4 send anterior branches link with anterior branches with L5 and S1 to form another nerve. So this is called the superior glutea. Okay, glutea, superior glutea, and then so if we take a look at the common fibula, so we can see common fibula is made of the lumbar sacral trunk, right? So we can see this one. So rhombus of triangle actually from L5. Okay, L5. So if we took like the anterior part, we can see from S1 send branches to link with the branches from S2 from the branches of the S3, so they can unite together to form the posterior femoral cutaneous nerve. Okay. Also, if we took take a look at the trunk from L5, S1, and S2, so they can send branches to link together, unite together to form the inferior gluteal. Okay, so this is how you memorize this. Okay. Also in the anterior side, we can see the branches from S2, S3, and S4. So they can send branches to unite together to form the pendental nerve. Okay, pendental nerve. Here we can see, so this is the sciatic nerve. Okay, sciatic nerve is the longest nerve. Okay. And then, so they can divide it to the common fibula and the tibia. Okay, common fibula, because so this one is made from two nerve. Okay, so in the near position, so these two nerves will separate to the common fibula and the tibia. Okay, and the tibia can continue to travel to our foot. Okay, so if people sit for a long time, so they may get compressions in this area. Okay, compressions in the butt. Okay, so this compression actually can directly compress on the sciatic nerve. Okay, it can cause tingling and pain of the sciatic nerve. Okay, so the patient can feel the pain just travel from the butt through the foot. Okay, so this is called sciatic nerve pain. Okay, so we can give the patient rest and massage or the heat or the heat therapeutic treatment to relieve the pain. Okay. So this, so I have covered the sacral plexus. Okay, sacral plexus. So I wish you guys can memorize this better and easily after my lecture. Okay. Now let's take a look at the reflexes. Okay. So the reflexes is rapid predictable motor response to a stimulus. Okay. So so we can divide the reflexes to two categories. So first is the inborn intrinsic. Okay. And inborn intrinsic, that means these reflexes come one way up born. Okay, so one way up born. So the newborns also has certain reflexes. So those are the intrinsic reflexes. However, the most of the reflexes we will get most of the reflexes after we are born. Okay, so those are called acquired reflexes. So those also called learned reflexes. Okay, learned reflexes. So we get these reflexes when we recognize our environment, when we learn our environment. Okay, so this is acquired reflexes. Okay, so the reflexes need the structures of the peripheral nerves and the spinal cord. Okay, however, so this is the major structures those are involved in the reflexes. However, the reflexes are also regulated by the higher brain centers. Okay, so all the structures that need for the reflex are called reflex arc. Okay, So the reflex arc actually contains 5 structures. Okay, the first is the receptors. Okay, so those are the structures that detect the stimulus. Okay, and the sensory neurons. Okay, sensory neurons transfer the stimulus from the receptor to the central nervous system, and the integration centers. Actually are the neurons in the central nervous system, so they can analyze the stimulus and send the commands. Okay. Also, we have the motor neurons. Okay, motor neurons. So once the integration centers make the command impulse and send the command impulse, so the motor neurons will be response. Will be responsible to transfer the command impulse from the integration centers to the effector. Okay, and then we have the effector. Effectors are the target organs such as muscles, glands. Okay, so here in this graph we can see we have the receptors. Receptors normally are located in our peripheral organs. Okay, for example, if we get the pain stimulation. Okay, pain stimulation. So this stimulus can be detected by the receptors, and the receptors will generate the nervous impulse, and the nervous impulse will be transferred to the spinal cord. Okay, so this is sensory nerve. Okay, so this is sensory nerves neuron. Okay, and then so we have the integration center. Integration center is another neuron in the central nervous system in the spinal cord. So they can analyze this impulse and make the command impulse. Command impulse will be transferred to the motor neuron, and the motor neuron will send the command impulse to the effector, such as muscle. Okay. For example, so it can allow the muscle contractor to let our limbs or fingers move from the dangerous environment. Okay. So in the so since we have the receptor. Okay, receptor. So this is actually we have several receptors. Okay, so this is one type of the receptor. So for example, it is called the muscle spindle. Okay, muscle spindle. Okay, muscle spindle actually can detect the muscle tension. Okay, muscle tension. So it can generate the nervous impulse and send it to the central nervous system, so we can know so we can know our muscular stage. Okay, know how tense of our muscle. Okay, so we can see the muscle spindle actually is made of the extrafuse muscular fiber and intrafuse muscular fiber. Okay, so this is also called spindle fusor. Okay, spindle fusor. We can see so this one intrafuse muscle that is wrapped with a sensory nerve fiber. Okay, so if our muscle is so if our muscle contract. Okay, so that will cause No. So if our muscle is pulled, okay, it's pulled. That means our muscle is extended, okay. So that will cause the shape change of the introfused muscle fiber, okay. So they change. So they change can be detected by the sensory nerve fibers. So they can send. So they can change. So they can change the frequency of the action potential, okay. So they can increase the frequency of action potential, and then so we know our muscle stage is changed, okay. So this is, so now let's talk about the strange reflex, okay. And so the example would be the patella reflex, okay, patella reflex. This is also called a knee jerk reflex, okay, knee jerk reflexes. So we can use the hammer tap on the patella tendon, okay, patella tendon. Once we tap on the patella tendon, that will cause the extension of the muscle, okay. That will cause the extension of our muscle. That will cause the change of the muscle spindle. This one, okay, because here is extension, okay, extension. Here is the extension. So the muscle spindle will detect the muscle extension and send the action potential to our central nervous system. So we can see in this slides. So this is the reflex arc. Okay, reflex arc. So this is the muscle spindle. Okay, muscle spindle will detect the tension of the muscle. Okay. So if we tap on the tendon, okay, so we'll cause the muscle. So this muscle extension, okay. So the muscle spindle will send the stimulus through the efferent neuron fibers to the spinal cord, okay, to the spinal cord. So so if we tap on the left, okay, it will send the impulse to the left side of the spinal cord. So this is called epilateral reflex, of epilateral reflex. So we can see, so it will so the nerve fibers will get into the posterior horn, okay, posterior cone, and then so it will divide into two fibers, okay, two fibers. One fiber is direct synapse with a motor neuron, okay, motor neuron. So the motor neuron will travel through the ventral root to innervate the muscle that is extended, okay, is stretched. So because this is stimulus action potential, it will stimulate the motor neuron. Motor neuron will send the impulse action potential to stimulate the muscle, okay, to cause the muscle contraction, okay. Since muscle contraction, so it can allow the extension of the knee joints, okay, here extension of the knee joints. However, since here the dorsal root send two fibers. Another fibers will synapse with the integration center. Okay, integration center will analyze this impulse and synapse with another neurons. Okay, so this neurons is called reciprocal reflex. Reciprocal reflex, that means because this one where send the inhibitory action potential through these neurons fibers to innervate the posterior muscle of our thing, okay, to inhibit this muscle's contraction, okay, to cause the reduction of this muscle. So that means so it will cause this muscle relax and to help the knee extension. Okay, so this is also called a reciprocal reflex. Reciprocal reflex. That means it will stimulate the antagonist muscle for the knee extension. Okay. So this is this strange reflex. Okay. So in this we can see we have this so we have the ipsilateral and reciprocal reflex. Okay. Now let's talk about the cross extension reflex. Okay. Cross extension reflex, that means it has two parts. Okay. The stimulated side is withdrawn and the contralateral is extend. Okay. For example, in this slides, okay, so that since it's cross, that means it will so it will recruit two parts. Okay, recruit both left and right parts of our spinal cords. Okay, for example, in this example, okay, so if we flex our forearms, however, some people want to pull our forearm. Okay, pull our forearm. Since our forearm is pulled, so the muscle spindle is stretched, so it will send the impulse to our spinal cord. Okay, and first it will send to the ipsilateral side. Okay, so this if this is right side, so it will send to the right side spinal cord. Okay, and innervate the directly and will send the and synapse with the integration center. Integration center will then stimulate the send the impulse to the motor neurons to stimulate the muscles to flex forearm to resist the pulling. Okay, and also it will synapse with the reciprocal neurons to cause the relax of the muscle in our posterior arm. Okay, to relax the posterior arm to help the flexion of our forearm. Okay, and then so the integration center will send another fibers to synapse with motor neurons in the left side spinal cord. Okay, left side anterior horn. So this is anterior horn. Okay, anterior horn. So anterior horn. So the integration can stimulate all this stimulates the motor neuron of the left side to induce the anterior to induce a biceps contraction. Okay, biceps contraction, and also can stimulate the motor neurons to induce the contraction of the triceps and inhibit the motor neuron of the biceps. Okay, So that will cause extension of left arm, left forearm, okay, left forearm, okay. So this is left forearm, this is right forearm, okay. So, so what does this movement means? Because if somebody pull our right arm, okay, so we will extend our left arm to try to grab something to support, to stabilize our body, okay, to resist the pulling, okay. So this is unconsciousness reaction, okay, reflex, okay. So this is called closed extensor reflex, okay. So that means if somebody pull our right arm, so we will send the command impulse to recruit both of our arm to resist the pulling, okay. Now let's talk about the superficial reflexes. Okay, superficial. So since superficial, that means this is skin, right? Skin. That means if we have the skin stimulation, skin stimulation, so we will have the reflexes. So the most important example is the plantar reflex. Okay, plantar reflex is done by the stimulating of the lateral aspect of the sole of the foot. Okay, because if we use object to describe the lateral surface of the sole of the foot, so it will cause the stimulation. So the stimulus will be sent to the central nervous system. Okay, so it will cause it will cause the flexion of the toes. Okay, flexion of the toes. So we can use this detector to detect if there is impairment or damage for the cortical spinal tract. Okay, cortical spinal tract, because the stimulus will be sent to the brain through the cortical spinal cord. Okay, so if there is since cortical spinal cord actually is in the central nervous system, okay, in the central nervous system, so it's in the spinal cord and the brain, right? So if this part has the damage or impairment, so this means we have the lesions in our central nervous system. So this test is called Parkinson's sign. So the negative Parkinson's sign negative is so we have the toe. So the toe flexion. So the positive sign is the toe flexion. Okay. So if we scrub, so we have toe flexion. So this is the Parkinson's sign. Okay. So the pupillary reflex, pupillary reflex. Excuse me. Pupillary reflex. So this is so this reflex actually is mediated through autonomic nervous system. Okay, autonomic nervous system. So we can shine a light to our eyes to cause the contraction of our pupil. Okay, pupil. Actually, once we shine lights to one eye, it can also cause another eye's pupil contraction. Okay, so in the normal people, we can cause both the ipsilateral and the contralateral response. Okay. However, if there is some lesions or damage on the visual tract, so we can have the problem. Okay. Now let's talk about the basic and learned reflexes. So the basic reflexes, that means So that means this reflex doesn't need the brain to be involved. Okay, so the learned reflexes actually. So these reflexes are controlled by the brain. Okay, by brain. And that means we can so we can get better reflexes through our learning. Okay, for example, we can do a sample experiment. So you can one student can drop a ruler, another student can use their fingers to catch the ruler. Okay, so you can try several times. Okay, so you can see so you will get a better catching compared to the beginning, right? That's because once you try several times, so our brain will be involved in these reflexes. So so the brain will memorize the actions. So the brain will make more efficient reflexes to catch the rulers. Okay. Okay, so that's all. Okay, that's all. Uh, we also have the so this is we also have these documents. Okay, we have these documents, so you guys can take a look at. So we have both all the cranial nerves, spinal nerves. Okay, so these documents summarize all the important part. Okay. So I hope this document will help you guys memorize all the contents of these lectures. Thank you for your attendance, and I see you next week.